Hello and welcome to my Pre-Algebra review series. This video covers Chapter 1, Section 2, titled The Order of Operations. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of using the order of operations and using grouping symbols. Please leave a like if you find this video to be helpful. Give your classmates a heads up too. It will more than likely help them, and certainly it will help this channel to be seen by more students. If you would like me to cover any of these topics in greater detail, please leave a comment here in the comment section below. I read them and do my best to answer each as time permits. Please subscribe to my channel and ring the bell icon to be notified every time I release a new video. Thank you. Let's look into order of operations. Okay, before we get started with this review, I'd like to talk about the order of operations. The order in which you perform operations can affect the value of the expression. To avoid confusion, mathematicians have agreed on an order of operations. The order of operations says, first work in the innermost level of parentheses, brackets, and braces. We call them grouping symbols, performing all mathematical operations therein and working out from there. Next comes exponentiation, then multiplication and division, working from left to right, and finally performing addition and subtraction, again working from left to right. The operative word here is, or should I say acronym, is PEMDAS. This is important and should be committed to memory. PEMDAS stands for parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. The key here is to remember these in order. Operations are performed in the order listed. First, clear the innermost parentheses, working outward. Then, exponents are resolved, followed by multiplication and division, working from left to right. And finally, ending with addition and subtraction, also working from left to right. And note, exponents will be addressed in future sections as they have not yet been introduced in your curriculum. Okay, example 1, simplifying expressions. So they want us to simplify this first problem here, this first expression. So let's do it. And remember, we have to think of our PEMDAS. Let's not forget PEMDAS. And PEMDAS tells us that we have to do parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division before addition, subtraction. So let's look at our expression. Is there any multiplication or division in it? Yes, there is. There's also addition. We have addition here, and we have division right here. Well, so why don't we just go ahead and we'll adjust this. I'm going to say 4 plus, and I'm going to put a parenthesis right here, 15 divided by 3. Now does this clear it up? Look at this. Here's a parenthesis. According to PEMDAS, you have to do what's inside the parenthesis first. Well, what's inside the parenthesis is also a multiplication, which you do before addition. Or this is a division, but multiplication or division, and before addition or subtraction. So I put this around here so that you can see I'm going to do this division first. So then the next thing I do is I get a 4 plus, I have this parentheses. What's inside the parenthesis? If I left the parenthesis there, I can. 15 divided by 3 is what? 5. So now I have the 5 with the parenthesis. Well, this is now, as I said earlier, working this completely until you can remove the parentheses. Well, now there's nothing left inside but a constant number. We can remove the parenthesis. And what do we get? We get 4 plus 5, and 4 plus 5 equals 9. Okay? In this case, we did the division first, and then the addition. And I put the parenthesis here just so that it would remind you that, oh, look at that. We're going to do the division first. Okay? Okay, example 1, check your understanding. Let's see if we can do these. To start, problem A, 2 plus 5 times 3. So what comes first? The addition? Do we say 2 plus 5 times 3? Or do we say 5 times 3 plus 2? Well, we say 5 times 3 plus 2. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. So 2 plus 15 is equal to 17. Let's do this one. 12 divided by 3 minus 1. So what do we say? Do we say 3 minus 1? And then that would be 2 minus 3 minus 1 would be 2. And do we say 12 divided by 2? No. We say 12 divided by 3 first. And that's going to be 4. So 4 minus 1 is equal to 3. And the parentheses can disappear. I just put them in. You don't have to do it. It could be 4 minus 1 equals 3. I'll do this one without putting parentheses in. So do you do the multiplication and division or subtraction and addition first? We do the multiplication first. So we have 10 minus 1 times 7 is 7. 10 minus 7 is equal to 3. Okay? Okay, example 2, using the order of operations. So this is a little longer, so we're going to have to do a little bit more thinking about what we do first and second. So we start off, we have a 3 times a 5. We have a negative 8 and some divided by a 4 and plus a 6. So it says we do multiplication and division before addition, subtraction. So here's multiplication and here's division. So we would do this and this before we do any addition or subtraction. And the other thing to keep in mind is part of the rule says multiplication and division from left to right. So that means we're going to do this one first, the 5 times 3, or 3 times 5. So that ends up being 15 minus, then we do the 8 divided by 4 is 2 plus 6. And then we do addition and subtraction. And we do that from left to right. Well, from left to right, we're going to do 15 minus 2, which is 13 plus 6. And 13 plus 6 is equal to 19. Did you see that? You go from left to right when they're the same operation. Here we're doing multiplication, division. You go left to right. Here where we're doing addition, subtraction, we go left to right. Okay? Okay, for example 2, now we have a couple of check your understanding problems. So we start off like we did before. I'll write them down so we can draw on them. Okay? So we have a 4 minus 1 times 2 plus 6 divided by 3. Okay, so what do we do first and second? What do we do is we look for multiplication. First of all, we look for parentheses. If there were parentheses in here, we'd have to do that first. However, we're going to do multiplication and or division first. And when we do it, here's the multiplication. Here's one right here, multiplication. And here's the division. I kind of lost it in my sloppy writing there. But there they are. That's the multiplications. And we're going to have to go from left to right. So we're going to do this multiplication first. So we're going to say, I'm going to say it with minus 4. Then the parentheses. This one's going first. 2. 1 times 2 is 2. Plus, then we do this. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Okay. Now that we've got these done, we can remove the parentheses. And it's addition before subtraction. So I think I'm going to write it. 4 minus 2 plus 2. You go from left to right. 4 minus 2 is 2 plus 2 equals 4. Let's do B. 5 plus 6 times 4 divided by 3 minus 1. Okay, so let's look through this. Is there multiplication in here? Yes. Is there division? Yes. Okay, so this is a little confusing in that we're going to start here. 5 plus, well, the first thing, we're going from left to right. We have to go this way. And the first thing we come to is the multiplication. So we're going to do the 6 times the 3. Then it's going to be divided by, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, 4. Let me just get that out of there. I'm sorry. 6 divided by 4, or no, 6 times 4, divided by 3 minus 1. So now we're doing the multiplication before the division because it's left to right. So we have 5 plus 6 times 4 is 24. Now we can do the division sign, 3 minus 1. And again, we have division, so we're going to put braces around this, because now we have to do this. We're going to say 5 plus 24 divided by 3 is 8 minus 1. Then we go left to right on the addition subtraction. 5 and 8 is 13 minus 1, and that equals 12. Okay? Okay, objective 2, using grouping symbols. Grouping symbols such as parentheses with brackets and braces indicate order. A fraction bar also is a grouping symbol, since 4 plus 2 divided by 3 really means the quantity 4 plus 2 divided by 3. And you have to do what's inside the parentheses first, so we do that addition before we do the division. Always work within grouping symbols first. Some key concepts. We've heard them before, we'll do them again. Order of operations. 1. Work inside grouping symbols first. 2. Multiply and divide in order from left to right. And then finally, 3. Add and subtract in order from left to right. Okay, example 3. Simplifying with grouping symbols. So what we have here, they want us to simplify this expression. And what you see is they've already put the grouping symbols in. They want us to look at it and decide how we're going to attack this problem to get the answer. Well, we see that we have a 10 divided. Well, and divideds are important. And they say, well, we have to do division early on, right, before minus, the subtraction. But there's a brace, or a bracket in this case. There's a bracket. So that 10, that dividing this into the 10 you can't do, because you have to get rid of this bracket before you can start doing this divide. And then it says minus this term in here, minus the quantity, the parenthesis, the quantity 2 times 2. Well, we have to work at the innermost brace first and then work our way out, as we talked about earlier. And doing that, what we're going to do is we're going to have 10 divided by a bracket 9 minus parenthesis 2 times 2 is 4 and a bracket. Okay, we've now taken care of what's inside these braces here, or excuse me, the parentheses, so we can now eliminate the parenthesis from the picture. So now we're going to have 10 divided by bracket 9 minus 4 bracket. See, the parentheses are gone. Next, we still have brackets and braces and parentheses. You name it, we have to go inside them before we can go outside. So we do it again. We say 10 divided by bracket 9 minus 4 is 5 bracket. Well, Now there's nothing left inside the brackets other than a constant. A single term that we can't do anything more with. There's no addition, subtraction, anything inside here. There's just a constant term. Okay, so now we can get rid of the brackets. So now we have 10 divided by 5. And that answer is 2. Okay, look easy enough? Good deal. Okay, example 3, check your understanding. Let's see if we can do this. What do we have here? And we're just going to write them down and think about them as we go. So we start off, we have a 2, and here's a bracket. So that 2, this is 2 times whatever's inside the bracket. That means multiplication. And we have the bracket goes across and a bracket way over here. But inside there, we now have a parenthesis inside the bracket and a 13 and a -4. And we close the parenthesis. And then we say divide. Divide by 3. And that's all inside the bracket. Okay, so how do we do this? We go into the braces and brackets first and go to the innermost and start resolving that and working our way out. So if we do that, we're going to have a 2 times a bracket, parentheses, 13 minus 4 is 9, paren, divided by 3, bracket. So now the parentheses can be taken away because the 9 is the simplest form it can be. Nothing else can be done inside that. So we can say 2 bracket, get rid of the parenthesis, 9 divided by 3, bracket. So now we have multiplication and division. Well, can we do the 2 now? No, we have to do what's inside the brackets first. So 2 bracket, 9 divided by 3, 3 bracket. Now we can get rid of the bracket. And when we do, it's going to be 2 times 3. And I'll just say 2 times 3, and that equals 6. Okay? B, 1 plus. Oh, we have a fraction here. Well, as we know that when we have a fraction, first of all, as you need to understand and remember that the fraction line right here, this fraction line, is a grouping symbol. It says that everything below this fraction line is a number or is a quantity, all right? And everything above stays together. It too is a single quantity or expression, has to stay together until you resolve it. So you treat it as if it's a brace or whatever. So we have this plus, but we can't add anything from here until we resolve this fraction. And there's the fraction, since this is a brace, considered a brace, we have to do what's on both sides of it first. We know we'll start on the top and then we do the bottom, but the bottom, you see, there's not much to do. It's just a 4. So we do this, we say, this line right here, I'm going to draw it. 10 minus 2 is 8. And that's over 4. So you have 1 plus 8 divided by 4. So 1 plus 8 divided by 4, now you're still handling this. You can't add the 1 to anything yet. So we're going to have 1 plus 8 divided by 4 is 2. 8 divided by 4 is 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3.